Eastern Conference champions, Indiana Pacers, from earlier this late spring. Well, hopefully Killswitch Engage were champions on their latest offering, This Consequence. Of course, Pacers suffered the consequence of losing Tyrese Halliburton, of course, in Game 7 in the finals, and also the consequence of bad refereeing, but not even going to go there. But This Consequence, what a title for an album, you know? Like, it just makes you wonder, is this album going to be very, very aggressive? Especially considering its length, 35 minutes. It's the second shortest album that Killswitch has released. Only thing that's been shorter than that was their self-titled in 2000. Very interesting there. It's also their first album in 5.5 years. This is the first album since 2019's Atonement, which I talked about on this channel. That album had a good first half. Second half kind of fell off, in my opinion. But either which way, you think about This Consequence. Is this album suffer the consequence of being possibly rushed? Is it something where there may have been still songwriting? I mean, or is it a Killswitch album that is going to go down in their discography as being one of the better ones? A lot of questions to be answered in a short amount of time. In a short amount of time, I'm referencing to the album, again, because it's only 35 minutes, and with a short album like this, you want to have a strong opener. You want to have a strong opener. There's 10 tracks on here. Abandon Us is what starts off the album, and I don't necessarily think this is that kind of start that occurs in this album. Abandon Us is a song that, yeah, there's heaviness. There's that chugging riffing especially, but I just don't feel like it's something to where I resonate with it as much. I could be one of the few that doesn't resonate with it. I mean, whatever. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I'm not being coerced by the masses here. Again, this is my video. This is my review of it. So I'm giving you my thoughts, obviously. But in this song here, like, the lyrics stand out, and I'm just going to tell you this right out the gate. I'm not going to try and repeat it throughout the video because I don't want to sound like a broken record. Jesse Leach's vocals actually sound like, that's a strong point of this record. It is an absolute strong point of the album. It's one that where he's pushing his range, I feel like, and it's really, really impressive. So each song on here, I hear a great vocal performance on here, and it's great to hear that from him from the last few albums ever since he rejoined, when they basically were about to go do Disarm, obviously leading into Disarm the Descent. But essentially, though, a theme with this record, lyrics-wise, is more of the dark stuff, not like more bright. It's lyrics like, you know, abandon us, you turned your backs on all of us. All we had reduced to dust. You know, use your intuition, awaken from your sleep. How many years controlled by fear, the fallacies run deep. You know, lyrics that really hit home in a way. Can't you see the urgency? So we can save ourselves from divergency. Yet here we are left to bleed. You abandon us. You know, that could mean several different things. But again, abandon us with the instrumental backing. The instrumental backing is something to where I just feel like it's something to where I've heard it before. It doesn't sound as prominent. It sounds really nothing new. And I'm not saying that every single song every single song needs to be something to where you need to make a dog do new tricks, essentially, or whatever. I'm just saying, though. I mean, it's an okay start to the record. I just feel like, to me, though, it could have been a little bit stronger. Discordant Nations, the next song. This is a faster track. I actually like this song more. This could have started the record, if we're being honest, because this is a song that really gets going right out the gate. I love how this one really just essentially gets it going. The motor runs high with this one. Again, lyrics that revolve around dark stuff like, you know, talking about living through a discoordination in our society. And that's a real, that line right there to start the song really hits home. Our society is in much discoordination and much disarray. I mean, I don't even know what's happening these days with our generation of people. A boiling point of our frustration and mass anxiety. Anyone can see undeniably. Diversion is the new disorder. Forced complacency. Assimilated to the syndicate. Man, I mean, again, these words really driving home the point that, you know, of what reality is today, especially. But yeah, these lyrics really stand out strong in general. Of course, the instrumental backing, I feel like it has even more attitude this time with it, and I feel like it's something to where I can engage with it more. I mean, that's just me, though, like I said, but especially the blast beat into the chorus, I like that a lot. Some flavor there in the chorus, especially with Jesse's more melodic vocals as well. Overall, shorter song at 2:40 in length, but it's one I feel like packs more punch. It's more direct in your face. So Discordant Nation, definitely a thumbs up on that one. Aftermath, I feel like continues the momentum nicely. Changing pace a little bit slower. I feel like this is a song that you may hear, you could have heard maybe on an older Killswitch release, something where you could plug it in there in that era of Killswitch. But to be honest, again, Aftermath continues the momentum nicely. I especially like the lyrics in this song too. Of course, being left for dead, reeling from the aftermath. This is the consequence of people lost and dispossessed. We were misled, left for dead, but you can't give in to despair. I give my life to changes, but you can't see through the lies. I'm trying to find some sort of positive light in the negativity of the world or anything else that you're dealing with. Something to where, like, yeah, I would, I'd give my life to do something about it. Something that holds a lot of strength. Those words, I should say, hold a lot of strength to it. But I like here, too, again, the nice change in pacing. I feel like this is, again, a track that is definitely memorable, one that you could go back to more. I feel like the returnability factor is higher with this one. I like it. It's something where Killswitch, this is something I feel like it's more classic Killswitch Engage to me personally, just because of how the song is structured as well. Definitely good. Forever Aligned is the fourth track, and I believe this was the first single from the record. Now, this song has grown on me a little bit. At first, I was not the biggest fan of this song. Now, some of you are going to be surprised by that, thinking, wow, what in the world are you? Are you asleep or something? But in general, no, I think it took me a couple listens to, get into it, because the intro was heavy. It kind of sounded like something to where I felt like I was listening to some different band with the intro, with that dissonant guitar riff in the beginning, and leads right into it. Of course, you wander through desolation, the emptiness inside, the venom of this isolation begins to claim its prize. Part of me only you could see. It's you I find forever in my mind, we are aligned inside. When my breath begins to tremble, swallowed by this dread, to feed me to the wolves that linger in the shells in my head. And with these lyrics, I'm just kind of skimming through some of these lines of lyrics, especially. But the difference between the verse and chorus is kind of vast in a way. The real aggression there in the verse, and then the more openness in the chorus where it kind of breathes a bit. That's something where it took me a little bit to get used to with how it kind of changed up like that. But I really like the back half of the song, especially. Like the bridge itself with it. I feel like there's emotion being brought out, especially in a little bit of a different tune, or from a different tune, or how should I say this? Emotion being sought in a different way. So and especially in the last 30 seconds where it kind of fades out. I'm going to say fades out, but it softens out a bit, especially. This is a track, again, I feel like it's grown on me. There's a nice bit of, back and forth between the anger, but then just the lighter side of Killswitch. This is one where I feel like they flipped the coin well. Again, track's growing on me. I actually think it's a pretty solid song. Now, we get to I Believe. This is a song that's more of that, I don't want to call it a Killswitch ballad. That would not make sense, because this is not a ballad, but it's a song to where it's more of a radio-friendly track, in my opinion, but it's something to where the lyrics kind of flip to more of a positive light, and the instrumental backing kind of having that emotion being brought up, feeling like there's hope in something actually starting to develop. Of course, you go through lyrics such as covering the truth inside us, giving into spite, self-inflicted paranoia hindering our sight. But of course, some people will say it's part of life. I choose to refuse to let it slide. Finding faith in these dark times, keeping hope alive. I believe, and this is where the chorus kicks in, I believe there is hope for better days. I believe we will conquer what we face. So a song that kind of flips towards more of a scenery in which you're trying to be rid of the negative in a way. So I feel in this case, this track definitely, I liked it from the get-go. One that, like Aftermath, I can return to it more, and something where Killswitch is good at being able to change up the scenery, change up the environment, That's a good style when bands are able to do that with flavor, with a good certain taste to it. One that doesn't feel like it's generic. And I know that, like, depending on the person you ask, like, this is a song like this. I want to say depending on the person you ask. I don't know where I was going with that one, but I would say with, like I said, going back to my point of generic, this doesn't feel generic to me. It feels like, or even like on autopilot, to be honest. So I believe closes out the first half of the record. I feel like in a little bit of style, so not so bad so far. It's a solid record up to this point. I don't want to say it's something that's legendary or it's reinventing the wheel. Where It Dies kicks off the second half. I feel like this is a song that is kind of there, but there's a catchy riff in it. A catchy riff in the verse there. It's not a song that really stands out like in left field or whatever. It's just kind of there in the mix. A song to where I don't think it's a bad song, but again, it just feels like another average tune to me personally. But some of these lyrics, especially, that stand out to me in this song, that try to boost the song up, of course. This is where it dies. Wasted too much time deciphering the lies, defending who I thought you were inside. Vilified anyone who tried to expose the bitterness that you hide. Man, like a song here where we're back in kind of that cycle of just in distraught, you know, basically not taking anyone's bullcrap anymore. That's kind of what that phrase of lyrics kind of tells you right there. I see who you've become. It's too late for your repentance. Now our trust is undone, so you will suffer my vengeance. And that's something to where, as in like our life, and basically with us in general, that's a phase that we hate to face in life with someone who we thought was good for us, but in reality isn't. You know, of course, I've had my fair share of people that I have dealt with in that regard to where, and of course you have too. So lyrically, the song stands out nicely. I think the lyrics are kind of the strong suit of the song. Instrumental backing, not entirely so much. Collusion is where things really pick up, and I do like Collusion. This song is one of the strongest songs on the record. I really like the aggression at the gate in this one. It isn't just the aggression, it's the delivery of just literally everything on this song. It's with emphasis. There's no wasted movement, no wasted kinesis with this song. I mean, the lyrics and the instrumental backing could join together like some sort of power force that's just hard to stop or impossible to stop. Held down against the pavement, disavowed, subordination of the need to expound. Coordinated covert invasion, the system. Sorry I coughed like that. My phone memory was running full there, so I had to kind of take care of that real quick. But of course, okay, let's get back to this, of course. Collusion, really strong song. Love the breakdown, especially. Very intense there, with especially the like low, like almost like guttural vocals there too. This song is powerful. I like it. I feel like it's a standout track on the back half of the record, along with The Fall of Us. This song, man, arguably, maybe some might say it's the best song on the record. It's possible because, man, this song has got some heaviness to it, especially with like those blast beats in there too. Kind of sounds a little bit, I don't want to say death metal-ish, but it doesn't. I feel like at times we're kind of escaping the realm of thrash a little bit, of metalcore. I don't want to say thrash, that was an accident. More of the metalcore element and going somewhere else too, which is pretty cool. But this song really takes you in for a loop. Man, this one's really, really intense. Like your words forsake and betray you. It's your fake hate that I see through. You let the bitterness take you. It's the death of our trust. Recognizing the life you claim to live, normalizing your arrogance. I've got no more to give, no more to give. My tears, my heart, my blood are not enough in the fall of us. Your fears at war with trust. In the loss of love, it's the fall of us. It's never enough, the fall of us. All I'm going to tell you is this. Listen to the song. This one really hits hard, especially. You're going to feel it, that's for sure. You're going to feel the heaviness of the song. This is a standout, a highlight on the back half of the album, and not only that, but of the entire album as well. Broken Glass, short and simple. The song I like the least on the record. With Broken Glass, you're anticipating chaos. You're anticipating things flying off the walls or just across the room or something. No, it's kind of one of those songs where it's just some heavy riffs and then just some heavy vocals and shards of glass about just Speaking shards of broken glass, my wounds may bleed, but the pain won't last. This is a song that's just really just kind of there, especially, but it's even worse than Where It Dies. Requiem, the final track on the album, the opening riff sounds Lamb of God-ish, which is interesting. It definitely sounds more Lamb of God-ish. Took me a minute to realize that. I don't know how, but Requiem's a song that I think it closes out the album in a little bit of style. It's a song that it's solid. I don't think it's something to where it's like, it feels a finality in a way, it does, but I wouldn't say it's something to where it's like the greatest song on earth, but it's, again, a solid track in general of featuring some of the lyrics like, you know, can we be saved before it's too late, our lives in declivity, watching our world fall. Alright, I really need to hurry up and finish this review because my phone memory is just keeps getting cluttered up, but of course, Requiem, solid track at the end of the album, not anything that's like totally reinventing the wheel, but Killswitch with this consequence is an album that honestly was solid overall. It's an album that might be in some retrospect a little bit better than Atonement, but one that's not like reinventing the wheel, nothing groundbreaking, but something where Killswitch is still staying strong as being, of course, an important part of the metalcore scene for over basically 25 years now at this point. I'm going to give the album roughly 78 to 80 out of 100. It's a slightly higher score than what I gave Atonement. One where, again, Killswitch, you know, still staying strong. Still staying strong, of course, as they're approaching their 40s or however old they are. They're in that range, I'm pretty sure. But one where, yeah, some of the songs in there, fairly very good, honestly. Some kind of, you know, kind of weighing the album down a little bit. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know what the next album review is going to be just yet. I'm still working on that. It might be Cody and Cambria's latest album, Vaxxus Act 3. That'll be very interesting when I do that one. But thank you guys for watching. Did you guys like this album? I want to hear your thoughts on it. And thank you for tuning in as always. I'll see you guys again in the next one.